My name is Bryan. I've been attending DC3 for a few years now. When I was younger, I grew up in a pretty rough place in Warren, Ohio. My street was pretty notorious for prostitution, drugs. Used to see a lot of shootings on the street, a lot of gang violence, stuff like that. So I had a pretty negative space to grow up in. But my mother would always bring us to church. Our grandparents would bring us to church, and there is when I really, in those years, I learned that God existed, and is always, been there throughout my life after that, whether I chose to see it or not. That was the first lesson I learned from God, was that He existed. The second one was forgiveness, in receiving His forgiveness. Towards the end of my 20s, I had a pretty traumatic experience, and that really kick-started me on a mental and physical growth direction. And for about 1.5 years, I was going to school and working out all the time and trying to be successful, but I was still missing something. And I would say about 6 months ago is when it really hit me. A friend of mine who got baptized not too long ago here at DC3, Belinda, I was talking to her about growth, and she had mentioned to me that, I said that I had helped her before, and then she's outgrown me, and she said that only spiritually. And it really, that's that moment where, it kind of sticks with you, you know what I mean? Like there's something about it, like it was just her just saying it. But it's funny how God speaks through people. It just, and it could be the smallest thing, and it just sticks like in your mind. And I knew that was like that message, like I couldn't get it out of my head after that. Shortly after that was when God taught me the third biggest lesson that He's taught me, which is forgiveness in giving it. And so from that traumatic experience I had that started my growth process, to cut a long story short there, I learned to forgive, which was a pretty interesting experience. Then after that, I really started to go to church more regularly. I would come with Belinda and Kyle, who have been my rock for fellowship, man. And it's so important to have people that are like-minded, that are, trying to walk that walk and be more Christ-like and putting that effort forward. And so they've been just incredible for me. I'd really like to help people find God and learn to love God and love Jesus, and help find their purpose and work through hard times with them, and give them wisdom and point them in the right direction. And it occurred to me that I was having doubts about baptism in the sense of I didn't think it was necessary. I didn't feel like it was something I needed to do, and there was you don't really have to. And it occurred to me I was actually afraid, and when I thought about it, I'm like, that's exactly why I should do it. That's exactly why I need to do it. It's setting an example. It's facing fear and facing doubt and saying, no, this is what I need to do. And to me, baptism it's the beginning. This is like kickstarting. It's really giving a kickstart to the rest of my life and my walk of discipleship. So here I am.